up, folks? I'm I was about to start making some coffee, and then I realized that I was already late for my stream. So hi, what's up? I'm gonna make coffee, which is kind of kind of funny because I started my process, and I was like, man, this is the most poor fucking for folks like way to make coffee. So I started filling my water filter, my drinking water, whatever, Brita filter, I guess. Because I'm too poor to, well, here in the U.S., we have to buy water because all of our municipal water, at least in like most places of the country, is not safe to drink. Here in LA, they say it is, but nobody trusts it. So I just get it from the tap, and I'm filtering it out now so I can go make my coffee. um, yeah, it's a thing. This is some fucking store brand coffee I just got with I made some money on the streams the past few days. This was like $7 for this, and it was on sale, so that's why I got it. I did not select a coffee that I prefer. I just got the cheapest one. And like worst case scenario, if I didn't have the money for that, I do have like a bunch of instant still left, but it tastes like ass, so that's why I haven't been drinking it. But I have it, so if I run out, then I got that. Um, so yeah, just waiting for my water to finish filtering here. How's everybody doing? Band's made coffee too? Hell yeah, dude. Oh, I want to show you like kind of a cool thing that I have too. I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna make a fresh ground cup. Hold on. Look, I have a little bit of the whole bean left. I was saving it for a special cup of joe. It's just Pete's coffee, which it's like it's not expensive either. It was probably like $10 for this bag. And then I've got this little coffee grinder. Funny story about this little hand crank grinder is one of y'all ordered this and sent to the library a while ago. It was on my wish list. And there was, hold on, there we go, perfect. Yes, perfect. There was a bottom piece that it went to, but when I went to the library, a lot of the stuff was just like scattered around. I was really happy to see at least this part, and I was like, man, I can totally find something that it fits on. It doesn't like screw on there, obviously, but it works. So I just grind away. Being poor takes a little bit more work, Gotta get a nice grind. I got it set to like the perfect grind. It works good. So yeah, thanks to the person that sent this out. I'm glad I eventually got to use it. Let's see. Tonia says, how are you today? I'm good. I hope that everybody's having a great day. If you feel like it, grab yourself a nice cup of joe or, a soda pop or a glass of water, whatever, cigarette. How many of you are poor in the USA? Raise your hand. Alright, so here's the next part I do. So, you know how fucking... Oh, I have one here. You know how rich people have the Keurigs, right? I have... there's a Keurig here that I've been using. I would never buy one myself, but I wasn't going to buy a different coffee maker just because I don't want to buy Keurig cups because that kind of defeats the purpose, too. Like, that's more waste. So I have these reusable K-cup things. Because you know some places that's what you have, and you don't have the money to buy a different one, so you just get one of these. You fill it with your coffee. If you're buying K-cups, stop it. Just stop it. They're way more expensive anyway. Like and it's so much waste. There's no reason. Just get these guys. Refill them. Okay, so I got my water. Got my refillable K-cup. And I only have like a few dishes. So I use this to like eat with, and I also use it to drink out of, and you know, whatever. And it's got a lid so I can carry it with me. I don't need a fucking Stanley cup or whatever. It's just, these things are like $2. I don't know. Alright. Hey, how's it going? Got Bands, Heaven, Wheezy. We got poor folks living in the USA, huh? What, how's your day going? What are you up to today? And how many of you are not from the US and, you know, you came here because you're curious about what the hell we're actually up to over here? Alright, yeah. Do like a heart emoji if you're not from the US. I'm just gonna grind the rest of this up anyway. I'll probably drink it later. There's like just enough for maybe one more K-cup thing. Let's see. Jake says, guilty, I have some of those reusable ones, but I still buy the K-cups. Stop it! Knock it off. Salam says, goated, I'm autistic and into gaming. Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Me too. I mean, I'm not like a gamer per se, but I don't have the money for that. Yeah. But, actually, that's kind of fun. I do like video games. What I do is I wait for gaming consoles to be like 10 years old and then just score them online for really, really fucking cheap. Or if they're like old enough, like stuff like Super Nintendo and N64, you can just download emulators on your shitty computer. I got this computer for $200 online. It's got a pretty decent processor and shit. So I can install like 2 kind of big games, like you know, like games with actual graphics and shit that you can, you know, whatever, and then like a bunch of little emulators and stuff. That's always been my main gaming platform, just like stealing shit and yeah, running emulators on my computer. And you can get an Xbox 360 controller that you can hook up right to your USB port, and then you've got a fucking proper ass controller for all your games, and you can configure it differently. Yeah, you really have to be clever to be poor and still do like cool stuff. Let's see. Didn't know about the fillable K-cup thing. Definitely getting one for work. Hell yeah. I'm over the road trucker and home for the weekend. Spring cleaning in Texas is a drag. Oh man. For a second I like skipped ahead while reading and just saw drag and I was like, oh sick, drag show. But no. Maybe a drag show might improve your day. Or yeah, spring cleaning, huh? Okay. Wonderful to see you doing so well. Thank you, Amy. Just Mom says, absolutely love the fit and color scheme today. Thanks. I was wearing the pink tunnels for like the last couple days, just because that's what I grabbed, and then I just happened to be wearing pink, and I was like, oh, dope, I actually matched today. Cool. Oh yeah, and for my I play Zelda. That's what I've been playing, like Breath of the Wild, and I've been wanting to play Breath of the Wild since it came out, but I never had the money to go out and get a Switch and games and stuff. And even so, like I was backpacking a lot over the last few years, so it just didn't really make sense. You really have to prioritize what you have and what you're going to carry. And you know, I was prioritizing carrying camera stuff and other tech, not like games. Um, but I found one online a few months ago for like $80 or something. Some kid was selling it, and it had all the stuff with it. It's I think what he did was probably sell the original controllers on marketplace and then buy some like knockoffs, because I'm pretty sure those controllers are knockoffs, but they work fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Um, and yeah, what I bought his stuff with like the charging port and stuff, and then I went online and ordered a Timu knockoff charger for my game system, and then I went and sold the one that I got with the system for like $20 or something like that. So then I ended up, buying the whole thing for more like $60 rather than $80. And yeah, cause like I was looking at it, and the Nintendo like brand stuff sells for a lot, but a lot of people don't know that they can just get fucking Temu knockoffs and shit. So yeah, that's how I game as a poor person. Alz80 says, "Can you tell us some advice? If it's something about being poor in the U.S., then yes." Jake says, "I got a '93 Jeep Wrangler a few months ago, so I've been really into fixing it up, switching the tops out and stuff. Now that the weather's getting nice, that's cool." Smallmouth mason jar fits coffee grinder. Okay, I could see that. I don't have a mason jar kicking around, but I might be able to find one later. Let's see. Ooh, this one almost fits. Oh yeah, my coffee's ready. It's coffee time, baby. Ben said, "You made me bust out laughing." That was a while ago. I wonder what it was. Um, American Dream is a lie, brother. Sounds good. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck. I mean, I don't think any of us have believed in like an American dream since we were kids. At least not me. Like I've never heard anybody like genuinely talking about that kind of shit. Um, since I was a child, I think that probably the American dream died in like the late '90s, or or it was in its death throes around then, and like just kind of just completely deflated and collapsed sometime in the early 2000s, I want to say. At least for me. Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab my coffee. Hold on. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm also like curious about what people from other countries have kind of been sold and what their impression is or used to be about like what living in the US was like and like what the living standard is. I know like I've talked to a lot of immigrants out here in LA. A lot of time they're like Uber drivers or something like that. Um, or like delivery drivers or whatever. And I was talking to this older Hungarian woman who was describing like the reasons why she came to the U.S. and she was like, yeah, back in like the 80s and 90s, it was really cool, and you know, it felt like more like what you would expect for like being working class, like middle class American person. Like, you know, it wasn't great, and it, you know, but it was better than where I came from. Now, it's not better than where I came from, and nobody has time to do anything. Like, there's no middle class anymore. You're just, you know, constantly fighting against just completely going under. Like, if you're gonna have enough money to live, you have no time to actually live. Thinking late 70s. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you define it. Like, definitely the the poverty class has always been there. I feel like it's like you would judge it based on like at what point does does the general populace care, you know? Because like when you have a small percentage of people that are really really poor and struggling, people have like a lot less empathy, I guess, because they're just like, oh well, those, you know, everybody else is doing fine, those people might have really, you know, just fucked up, and kind of just, yeah. But now it's affecting like most people unless you're like actually like rich. um there's no escaping it. Like, people that have grown up with privilege even are struggling to make it day to day and continue, like, not even the lifestyle that they're accustomed to, because everybody's lifestyle that they're accustomed to has like degraded over the last decade, into like new lows. But like to to be able to like hold on to some semblance of like their new low, I guess. It's like treading water. Well, we got a lot of new chatters today in the stream. Welcome, new chatters. How's it going? If you're new around here, say hi, hello. If you say something stupid, I'm just gonna put you in timeout and ban you. Um, cause yeah, we don't have time for all that. Justin Mom says, "Court is they them. Welcome, new fam. Hell yeah, yeah, welcome. I hope that some new folks find the stream. Um, and if you are new, feel free to ask me questions. I will be happy to answer questions about who I am and my background, and yeah, what I do, and my own experiences with poverty and homelessness. I have been homeless for a fair amount of time in my adult and late teenage years. What is your name? Are you embarrassed to be that dense? Like, I don't know. Like, look at my channel name. Like, gather some information. Okay, I'm gonna make an amendment. You can ask me questions, but like, I might just openly make fun of you for them. So yeah, just, you know, you have freedom of choice, but not freedom from consequence. 600 Plant Life wants to legalize a bunch of plants. Okay. Yeah, I don't think like plants should be illegal. I don't know. I like freedom. Awesome. I'm envious of your hair. Thank you very much. Yeah. I got some decent conditioner recently, and it's really at least for the mullet part, the long hair, it's helping with my curls a little bit more. I said yesterday, like, because of internalized like racial beauty standards, I literally thought as a kid that I had straight light blonde. Like my hair was definitely more light blonde, but like I actually thought that my hair was straight. I was using like straight hair products. I was using a straightener and like thinking to myself like, "Yep, I just have naturally straight hair." That's crazy. But yeah, it's nice to I don't I've lived in a bush for most of the last 15 years of my life, like, you know, tramping or off-grid homestead in Slab City and stuff. So like I really didn't use products at all. I hated society so much for a really long time that I just rejected that kind of thing altogether. Like I only use natural stuff, like really natural stuff. Like if I knew what, you know, like I would make my own like products to wash with, and they were really good. And I bought soap from my friend who made soap. I didn't use conditioner or anything like that. Alpha 28 says freedom as long as I don't have to pay for your failure. The fuck do you mean by that? I think what you're trying to say is that you don't want to pay, you don't want people to have health care or something, or like you don't want people to have EBT or whatever. And if that's the case, you can go fuck yourself. You already pay through taxes for the American war machine to go and kill children in Palestine, and you pay for the U.S. to be an absolute terror and bully worldwide. And if you're more okay with that, then the U.S. government providing for our citizens, then you're just kind of a piece of shit. So I don't really care what your opinion is. Wheezy says, when my mom came over here, it was when Marcos Sr. had a dictatorship in the Philippines, insane poverty there, but at least the cops leave you alone. A wee more there. I believe that. Yeah, it's really bad to be poor in public, especially on like in cities like LA. They're like cops will just profile you. I've been profiled. I'm a fucking white person, and I've been profiled by cops for looking too poor. And you know, they'll shake you down. They'll ask you who you are and what you're doing, and they don't need a reason to ask you for your ID. You could argue with it, but they know that you don't have any power because you're poor and you're on the street. So they do push you around. Absolutely. They'll steal all your worldly possessions. They'll confiscate their bike from your bike from you. They'll confiscate fucking. They don't give a shit. They don't see you as people. When you are like visibly poor and in public, you have less rights and less empathy from other people than a dog. Like even a dirty, you know, whatever, dirty, smelly dog. Like Americans hate poor humans more than they hate probably anything else. Amy says, "Man, you're funny when you get annoyed at dumbass questions, sus folks. You always make me smile. Love that you put people in timeout. You would be the best teacher, the best." That's what, yeah, that's what we're doing. This is DIY University with Professor Cornelius, and I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Um, Lord of Oak loves tariffs. That's a weird thing to proclaim in my chat. Fucking. You love paying more for goods. That's cool. What your pronoun are. Dylan, my pronoun are they or he if you're really just having trouble with the they them pronouns. But yeah, they them. when I'm on a job site or whatever, it doesn't really fucking matter. I just let people call whatever I want or whatever they want to. Yeah, but I'm a they them. DUI University. I like no DIY, dude, not DUI University. I'm not teaching you how to drink and drive, man. I don't drink. DIY is do it yourself. Respect. Thank you. Likewise. Sip on it is asking some basic ass questions that don't have anything to do with my current subject matter. Sip on it, if you are actually curious in getting the answer to your question, then I would suggest going to my homepage and going to my playlists. I have a playlist called LGBTU. So today we're doing an episode of DIY University, School of Hard Knocks. But I have also done LGBT University, where, yeah, I explain all of that shit. So that's really elementary shit, dude. But you can also just as easily type that same question into the Google search bar. I don't know why you came in here to ask me that. Let's see. Dylan says, I'm glad you're understanding. Yeah, dude, totally. I get you. RJK says, I just watched a doc about the new library lady. There's not a new library lady. There is a gentleman at the library now, and I've been back at the library, but that's not what this stream is about. Chris C says biology. That's not. I'm just gonna put you on timeout because that's not correct. Fake news. Hey Corn, how are you today? I'm good. Sip on it says, my friend, no hate. That's fine. I get it. Sometimes people come in here and they ask questions like that with like full intention of disrespect. So yeah, you're good. Just wondering. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the playlist for you right now. Here we go. I'm gonna post the playlist in chat so you can go check that out. Alright, here is the LGBTU series. Trigger warning, I swear a lot, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to do politically correct language either. And also, I was probably drunk for like most of this, but the information is still there. I think. I think I've had feedback from folks that have said they learned a lot from it. So yeah, I quit drinking a little over a year ago. I was a career alcoholic for a good 15 years of my life. And I was a lot more ornery back then. Very much so. I'm way chilled out now. So if y'all think I'm mean for spanking kids in my chat today, you have no fucking clue. And there's the LGBT University. Check that out. Sip on it if you really want to. I think, yeah, it's got all you need in there. Oh man. I want to know, yeah. I want to know, I was trying to remember. There were some points that I wanted to hit for this stream. Being broke. Being poor in USA. I've done this to myself before where I gave myself, like, kind of a big general topic because I was like, yeah, this will be easy. I can just fucking just go off. But it is actually, like, such a big topic with like so many different angles and stuff that I'm like having trouble figuring out like what to kind of hone in on, like what are like the most important general points. I mean, because like I could talk about like the daily life experience of being poor and working, or being homeless, um, or like I have talked about like homelessness a few times, but nothing like comprehensive. You know what I mean? I guess if y'all want to ask me questions about what it's like being homeless, I'll take questions about what it's like being homeless and kind of ruminate on that while I smoke a cigarette. And also for folks that are in the U.S. experiencing homeless, or you've experienced homeless, feel free to experienced homelessness. Feel free to share your experience here in chat too. And somebody asked about Slab City. I get that question like every stream. I'm trying not to be annoyed about it because, like, you can watch my videos. I've streamed about it a lot, you know, so yeah. And the reason I first kind of loved Slab so much is that, like, it kind of represented an escape from that grind. I had been trying to get ahead like for years before I ended up in Slabs for the long term, working honest jobs, working my ass off, and trying to just like find some type of stability for myself. And no matter how fucking hard I worked, I was not ever any closer to that. Like, and it just frustrated me so goddamn much. And then, you know, it got to a point where I was just like, yeah, fuck all of this. I want nothing to do with this. This is a scam. I'm not going to work my life away and be in debt until I finally make enough money that I can start putting money away. And then by the time I put enough money away to like live off of for a while, I'm basically already fucking dead. Like, no thank you. Let's see. Oh. Samoan says, I thought you had once said your dad is a physician, so are you not referring to generational poverty then? Bro, okay. My dad's a chiropractor. That's my adoptive dad. I'm adopted. And also, yeah, chiropractors aren't rich. And I don't have a relationship with my dad that way. Like, I don't know what the fuck kind of assumptions you're making about me, but stop it. That's fucking weird. Generational poverty. You have no idea about the fucking my generational experience. So fucking rude. Anyway. Sorry, I got a little triggered there. Dwight On says, there are so many Americans that are just a paycheck away from being homeless. Scary. Yeah, like pretty much most Americans. Jonas Carlson says, what would you say was the main factor that led you into homelessness? Sadly enough, just like not having adequate support from my family in my journey of realizing that I'm queer. You know, they're religious, and my parents were getting a fucking gnarly divorce, so like I didn't want to be around anyway. Yeah, just like not having anywhere that I felt supported, whether at home or in society, and just being disillusioned by the system that I saw crushing everybody around me, and deciding that I'd rather do literally anything else. Yeah, when I was younger, it was not like, it wasn't by choice. It was I was just not able to stay at my home, and I don't want to go too much into that, but I mean, I kind of like deluded myself into thinking that it was like kind of a choice, like a conscious decision to do that, but like looking back and assessing my life too, I realized that I struggled a lot with the expected way that people are supposed to structure their time, like with school and a career and stuff, and I just absolutely could not see myself doing that. I struggled in school really badly, and I didn't have proper support for learning environments and stuff, and I just kind of slipped through the cracks and was really, really bitter about society for a long time. Let's see. There's a lot of comments here. I'm just catching up here. What's up, Terry? Terry says, if I didn't have a goddaughter and grandkids in need, I get by, but I have given 50% of my income after taxes provide for grandsons in need because dads won't help. You're a good man, Terry. Vilified Logic says, I want to take up smoking. It'll make me look cool, and it's something to do with my hands. It's really, it doesn't make you look cool like you think it does. It is something to do with your hands, so I'm trying to find something better. You might be better off finding like a stim toy or something to play with. I'm trying to like transition into having a stim toy instead of a smoke, but you know, whatever. We pick our battles. Atham says, only spending 2 weeks a year relaxing with friends or family seems crazy. Coming on chat late, not sure if I mentioned that. If you mentioned that, yeah, like I haven't ever had a real job. I've had a lot of like under the table gigs and like temporary gigs, but mostly I've just kind of done my own like, I guess, freelance work and, you know, YouTubing and making art. Like I always knew since I was a kid that I was supposed to be an artist, and that's all I ever wanted to do with my life. And unfortunately, you know, practicing the arts in a corporate setting is not for me. It's that, yeah, corporate environments make me go insane. I just can't do it. I've never had like a cashier job or anything like that. I've done a lot of hard work, but like doing menial jobs is just, I can do it short term, but I can't do it long term. I would have to like get a lobotomy or something. And yeah, like doing that type of work is so soul crushing. And then only having so much time a year to try and, you know, heal from all that. It's like it's not okay. We have the worst working conditions in the U.S. I almost want to look up some statistics about that, because I've been seeing a lot of statistics about like time off and paid leave in other developed countries compared to the U.S. and it's really bad. We're at the bottom of the list on like everything. That says, divorce sent me into homelessness. Do not get married. Not smart. Never will, dude. Don't worry. Unless it's to like, I don't know. There might be some legal reason that I might, but yeah, I'm not interested in that. Yeah, that sounds like a whole mess. Like I can't. Yeah. I can't even imagine. Like the court and all that. Sounds awful. Christopher John says, no matter who you are so cute. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just a Mom says, the majority of kids who go through the foster system end up on the house here. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, they recently found out the government had been sending, like, tax money paid for by American taxpayers to assist and, like, pay for stuff, basic shit that foster kids need because they're in the American foster care system. That's what what should be done, you know? Like, the foster care system is to care for foster kids. And all of these states were siphoning off all of that money. So those foster kids didn't get any of the things that they needed. And it's a whole big scam. It's fucked up. Weezy says, I lived in a van for 2.5 years. I was spiraling out in 2020, got mental health issues. Bad, but struggling with poverty most of my life. I was upper poor once. Annie PDX says, hi, Corn. I've also struggled with real jobs. Yeah, dude, it's like, it's not like I think I'm better than working a retail job or anything. Like, I could, but not in a good way, though. It would, like, I've done all sorts of work for short amounts of time, but, like, the idea of working at a job that I feel nothing about, like, for an unforeseeable amount of time, like, kind of just makes me want to fucking, you know? It really, like, I would literally rather fucking not exist than do that. Just the mom says, I feel like mental health is a factor also. Yeah, definitely. For the foster care folks, yeah. Some jobs eat your soul for real. Yeah, and, you know, I say it a lot, but I am autistic, and the way that I process and experience things is different. I didn't realize, like, the extent of how different it was from people. I just, you know, now because of the internet, I'm learning how to express certain things, and, like, that other people have experiences like I do, and it's not just, like, me being a weak piece of shit or, like, something in my head going on. Like, there's, you know, there's a real cognitive issue that prevents me from doing things in the same way that other people do. Oh yeah, fuck, 43 minutes in. Okay, I'm gonna take a moment to say, if y'all want to, you can get down with the kickdown. I'm not trying to do like a sob story stream and be like, oh, I'm poor, please give me money. But yeah, just, you know, if you want to, there's links in the description. Donate directly, not through the YouTube Super Chat, because if you donate through the YouTube Super Chat, they take 30%. And we don't need to line billionaires' pockets more. And also, I get it immediately if you send it through PayPal. And if you do, I will check on my other phone and shout folks out. So yeah, if you want to drop $1, you'll give me the holler. All right. Captain slinging the links up in here. Hell yeah, dude. Yeehaw. Sam says, I called them landfill jobs. I come here to create landfill, sum total of my job. Work colleagues did not like me. I didn't realize they saw their entire lives in those jobs. Yeah, dude, for real. Like, that's crazy. You know, like, these people spending their entire lives putting all of their, like, life force and energy into a job that isn't fulfilling, and then, like, just feeling, you know, searching for their entire lives for something to fill this hole. But it's like, the hole is being created by the soulless job that's sucking your fucking life force out of you. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's why I'm trying to, I mean, usually I do, like, labor gigs. Like, over the past few years, half of my income comes from, you know, doing manual labor gigs and, like, odd jobs and stuff like that. And then the other half would come from streaming and YouTube stuff. Like, YouTube does not pay a lot for views, unless you're getting, like, millions of views, which I'm not. I'm total, yeah, I think I've got, like, 1 million and some views, but, like, not, you know, I make a few cents on views. But yeah, in the past I've done kind of like half and half and tried to, like, lean more on content creating and stuff. But in the last year I've been struggling with my prosthetic leg and navigating the medical system, and it's an ongoing battle, and it sucks. So I'm I'm handicapped. I can't wear my prosthetic leg a lot of the time because it hurts really bad, and I still don't have a replacement. I've been calling them and calling them and calling them and trying to figure out what's going on. Um, so I can't do the type of work that I typically would do. So I've been pretty much just leaning on the YouTube channel, and I'm working for a place to sleep and stuff, um, and it's enough. Um, but yeah, like, folks in the U.S. typically get around like $290 some for EBT food money, and out here, at least in LA, every time you go to buy basic groceries, it's gonna cost like $100, $200 for like a week of groceries. You can, if you're like really fucking savvy, you can survive off of rice and beans and like pay $50 a month or $50 a week for like enough groceries to keep you alive, but like that's not gonna fulfill you, you know? Like, I remember when I was a kid, I used to help pack like UNICEF rations for people in countries with famine and stuff, and that's what we were packing for them was rice and beans, and I remember thinking to myself like, like, yeah, this is definitely going to keep you alive, but like these are dry, hard beans that takes a lot of time and effort to make into something that's tasty to eat. And that's like, it costs a lot of like physical effort to get that, and a lot of time, time that you can't be hustling or doing something else to improve your situation. And now as an adult, like I'm seeing, I'm thinking about those bags of rice and beans, and I'm like, that's pretty much what I survive off of, day to day. Like, I mean, I've been pretty much just eating like rice and oatmeal, and I get stuff to put in it to make it more interesting and stuff. But like, that doesn't nourish your soul. It'll keep your body alive, but the fact that my diet now so closely resembles those famine relief packets that I was packing as a kid is uh, like that's pretty telling about where we are as a country. Um, and yeah, EBT helps, but like you can't you can't make 290 some dollars last for a fucking um you know it doesn't last for a month. It lasts like half the month. Or if you're being really smart, like, yeah, if you're being really smart, it's like half the month. It's crazy.
Uh,
Dwight says, would you be available for SSDI? I don't know. I do have a caseworker now that I'm working with, and I'm kind of just in the process of like seeing what resources are available. Andy says prices are truly insane. Yeah, they are, man. It's like you go to the store and like a lot of the times they don't even have like the price tags on shit at stores anymore. You just kind of have to be like, I don't know. And like you go and bring your stuff up to the counter and you're like, it could be $2 or it could be $10. I really don't fucking know. Cuz like prices are just so whatever now. And like the prices of things change so quickly, and stuff that used to be really cheap isn't cheap anymore. Um, yeah, it's kind of fucked. Half a month worth of food. Yeah, for real. If yeah, and that's if you're being smart about it. Like, I mean, I see people that are obviously more well off than me going and getting like a week's worth of groceries, and they're paying like $400 for a week's worth of groceries. Captain says I'm out of this cluster. All right, Captain, thank you. Let's see if anybody got down with the kickdown. I'm gonna grab my. Oh, it's in my pocket. All right, let's take my phone out of the old pocket and see if anybody threw down. Shaking the old, the old E-Spange gas mask. I don't have a hat with me, but here we got a gas mask. Just drop $1 right in there. There you go. It's the E-Spange. Pass it around. Pass it to the next person. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. I don't expect donations, but I like them. That's yeah, that's how I make my way right now. I'm not about to get thrown out on the street or anything, but you know, putting in work and figuring it out as I go. I did do a series on how to live simply and like how and where to find food when you're poor, and like all of that is good information, but it also is the type of thing that does take up time and energy. And that's one of the things that people don't realize about being poor is that it does take a lot of time and energy to be poor, and to be able to get the basic things that you need to survive. And if you're spending all of your time just surviving, when do you get time to improve your situation? You don't. There's no way for it. Oh, hey. We got a kick down from Janet. Thank you so much, Janet. Really appreciate you. Thank you. My phone is just like fucking shitting out. Hold on. Poor people problems. This is this is my main source of income right now, and I'm working with two shitty phones that together make like an okay phone. It is nice to have the second one so I can look at it while I'm streaming though, so that's cool. It's a Moto G. I bought it off of one of my followers here for $40. So yeah, it's definitely a lot cheaper to go on like Facebook Marketplace and find like people's outdated Androids. Nobody got down with the kickdown on Cash App. Okay, let's check Venmo. Also, if you're in LA and you need help with something, I'm here. This is a formal, just putting it out there. I'll help you do stuff. I'll even, I'll clean your house in underwear if you want me to, or whatever. Like, hit me up. I'll serve cocktails at your party, or you know, I'll do yard work for you. I can't do like crazy physical stuff like I usually do right now because my leg's fucked up, but I can do some work. I can do like a regular amount of physical work, you know, like yard work and stuff. Nothing on the Venmo either. All right. I'm just gonna make sure that nobody else kicked down on PayPal so I can thank them properly. Hey, what's up, Stephen Rowan? Says, sorry, dude, I'm broke living with my parents in Spain because I couldn't afford to live in England or I would. You're good, man. Shit. Oh, it looks like somebody else besides Janet also did kick down on... Oh, it was Janet also. Thanks again. Fuck yeah. Sick. Just a couple more bucks and I can buy Satan a new bag of treats. I only got one left in here now. So we're gonna give Satan her last little munchy bone. It's Satan treat time, so if you want to help Satan to have more tasty treats, then you can do that. Also, I'm trying to raise money to get a bus ticket back out to Slab City so that I can help out with more rebuilding. Come here, bud. Come here. Look at this bean. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Do you want this? You want that? Hey, wait. Yes? Here you go. Good girl. Baby dog. Yeah. There we go. Satan, how'd you get so cute? How'd you get so cute? Crunch. Let's see. Oh. Somebody tried with... Wait, what happened? I missed something. Divorce earlier asked, I find it difficult to communicate from homelessness to poor people just on the verge. Any advice? I'm not totally sure what you mean. Like, communicate about what? Like, about being homeless, or what do you mean? I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure. Rob K just kicked down through the super chat. Thank you so much, Rob K. I really appreciate that. You're sweet. Hell yeah. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. I do appreciate that a lot. And it will get to me. But yeah, the thing about donating through YouTube is that YouTube takes a big cut. And I won't be able to use that until payout. And YouTube does a payout every month. Once a month. And it's from last month. So it's yeah. YouTube's whack, but Rob K says, oh, do you know Brandy, the new librarian at Slabs? Brandy is not the new librarian, has never been the new librarian. She is not welcome at the library. She tried to burn it down. How much do they take? Like 30%, I think. Something like that. Yeah, it's a... Oh, it looks like Andrew kicked down on the Venmo. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate you, dude. Hell yeah. There you go. Cheers. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I haven't seen, well, there's been a lot of interesting questions and comments about being poor in the U.S. I asked earlier, but is there anybody that is not in the U.S. that is genuinely curious about the living conditions of average Americans right now? Feel free to ask. This is your rare opportunity to ask an actual American living in poverty what, because I know that up until pretty recently there was a lot of kind of fake news out there that would like idolize, especially through American entertainment. That is something that I kind of was like mulling over before the stream too, is just like there's a shift in oh, thank you, Rob K. You're sweet, man. Fuck yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's up until pretty recently, the U.S. had kind of there's a certain word for it. There's like an academic word for like cultural power or like effect. U.S. cultural global effect. I don't know. I'm just doing a word salad. I want to see if it'll pull something up. I don't know. There's a word for it, like an economic word, but the U.S. until like really recently had kind of the greatest cultural effect through our entertainment, movies, media that kind of made the American standard of living really like idealized. And now, because of people being able to have more freedom with creating and and having reach on the internet, that and also the fact that, like, you know, there's been the writer's strike. So yeah, our entertainment business is not doing very well, like not as well as it used to. And now, especially with the US being belligerent to the rest of the world and just kind of in general being a fucking piece of shit, everybody's boycotting American stuff, and American entertainment isn't sought after. So with that shift in cultural impact, there's been, you know, like the illusion of the American living standard is kind of dissipating. Soft power. Thank you, Nessa. That's what it is. It's soft power. Rob says that way you get the whole 20. You're great, man. Steven Rowan says, I see a lot of progressive channels. That's good. That means your feed is catering to something that you're looking for. Ben said, hi, what's up? Nessa says, which is why they cut off U.S. aid. Interesting. Wait, you said U.S. Agency for International Development is the principal U.S. agency to extend assistance to countries recovering from disaster, trying to escape poverty, and engaging in democratic reforms. Okay. Each year, federal agencies receive funding from Congress known as budgetary resources. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that specifically. That's what I'm trying to read now. I'm like all distracted. Time to move to Micronesia. Yeah, for real. Every day I'm a little closer to just skipping out. It's yeah, I mean, it's not too late to abandon a sinking ship, I guess. A lot of people that I know, not just like rich people either, because it always kind of seemed like, oh yeah, it's your wealthy privilege to just like leave the country, but also I feel like that was kind of a psyop too. And yeah, like lots of people from all financial backgrounds have been just leaving. Chris Bandit says rent and grocery prices are rising ridiculously here in Australia. Yeah, that sucks. Australia, I definitely want to get a little more up to date on like the finer points of Australian politics and economic issues. And yeah, after the fires here in LA, like all the landlords were trying to like double the rent for a lot of people because of course they do. They're fucking bottom feeders. And the city put like a rent freeze after like a lot of people expressed concern, and so they're yeah, I don't really know what that's looking like specifically, but it's bad. If you could escape, where would you go? That's a good question. I've definitely considered just like going to South America and kind of traveling around. I don't know. I don't really want to be like posted up anywhere. The way I envision the next few years of my life after my time here is world travel. I want to do what I've done in the past, backpacking and tramping and going on adventures, but I want to do it bigger and better. So that's what I'm trying to grow toward through my channel and through working on stuff here and just honing my skills and trying to get some basic stuff done, like getting the new leg, getting top surgery, and getting on proper medications and stuff, and really just grinding to make myself ready for a future where I'm doing more stuff. Hey, you stop. So yeah, I'm on my grind right now, and if all else fails, then yeah, I can go get a shitty fucking day job somewhere, but I'm gonna work as hard as I can to not have to do that. I don't know why my hair is doing this. Okay. Why is it doing? Okay, whatever. Yeah, I right now my main occupation is to build a life where I don't have to get sucked into the fucking the machine. Rob K says that I'm glad she's gone. Love the slabs. Yeah, the library is doing good. I'm gonna be going back on Wednesday, and so that's why I'm trying to do a live stream every day, so that even if I just make a couple bucks on stream or whatever, over a few days it'll add up, and I'll be able to get a bus ticket if I need to, or pay somebody for gas to get out there. So I'm gonna be back out there helping out the new librarian, doing some training, and hopefully getting a solar power system figured out. So that's why, that's why I'm doing daily streams. And I really appreciate everybody that kicked down. Oh shit, we're at over an hour here. Okay, sick. I'm just gonna take one last look and see if anybody kicked down that I should thank. And I gotta get. What do I gotta do? I got a bunch of other stuff in front of me here. This has been my work desk for months and months now, and it's all I gotta do is, if I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do next, I can just sit here and look around, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I've got some stuff here that I need to do, or whatever. I got my computer here so I can do some editing. Out of curiosity, what's the driving force behind your interest in the library at Slab City? Asked Wilson, King of Prussia. I mean, to create a space where supplies and educational materials can be freely distributed to people. Create an anti-capitalist learning space. And just because Slab City needs a library. And I was the one to take that on, so that's why I do that. And there's other people that are, I'm trying to move away from that, and it needs somebody to be caring for it. So that's why I've got my hands on it again, because it almost got destroyed, and then it didn't have anybody to take care of it. And there have been a few people that have shown interest. One has stuck around, and that's what we got. You founded it, right? No, I reestablished it, and built most of the library that stands today. Mermaiden says my room went from 1,200 to 1,800 in the past 3 years at the same house. Jeez. Grateful for a home since I've been homeless before, but it's still not fair pricing at all. No, it's really not fucking. That's not fair. It's just out of control, man. It's fucking out of control. It's out of hand. Sean's non-existent hairline. Nice username. Says, I appreciate your activism. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear. Oh yeah. Shit. I know what I gotta do next. I gotta eat some food. I'm gonna make some rice, because that's what I have. Or oatmeal. I got the rice for when I want to, like, you know, have a nice savory meal, and then I got the oatmeal for when I want a sweet meal. That's 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 lunch and dessert, and breakfast, and yeah, that's pretty much what I've been living off of lately. I do have some like rice noodles and some broth that I can put together if I want like a soup instead of a bowl of rice. Man, yeah, it's been a thing. Oh man, yeah. What do I got? Not a lot. That's pretty much it. All right. Well, I'm gonna head out in a minute here. Let's see. Anybody got any more questions about being poor in the U.S. or anything to add? Are you poor in the U.S. and how is it? 10 out of 10. Would you recommend or no? I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend being an American at all right now. But I've been saying that since forever, and I think people thought that I was being a bit of a reactive, but no, I was right. Gotta love today and tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Good seeing you, Quinn. Good seeing you, Nessa. Hell yeah. California is the U.S. California is in the U.S., yes. Wheezy says, nah, it sucks. Divorce says, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Jack Winkle says, I'm Canadian, so do with that what you will. Is that any better? I don't personally know. I don't know what the living conditions for the average Canadian are like. It's been a while since I've been through there. Nessa says, same coin, George Bush era eye-opener. Yeah, dude, I was like fucking a literal child during that era, and that radicalized the shit out of me for sure. Jack says, I don't know, brother, I just don't know. We will all be alright. Yeah, we'll be alright, definitely, but there's, you know, we gotta make some changes. Because this will not stand, man. Jack says, I have dreams of coming to USA for a visit and maybe residency down the road. I don't think you want to do that, man. Maybe after we sort the regime out, but like, yeah. I have a lot of friends that that are here on a work visa from Canada, and they're going back. Like, folks are heading back. Yeah, the prosperity promised by American media is a fucking lie. All right, folks. I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm really grateful to everybody that donated today. Thank you so much, and Satan thanks you. And I'll be back again. Probably tomorrow. I'm working all day, but I'll probably be, you know, I might find an hour of time to do a stream and talk about stuff, or I might take a break tomorrow and just, you know, be working. Just to mom. I already gave Satan a treat. That was the last one. I'm gonna go use the kickdowns that y'all sent me to go get some more Satan treats. Listen, King of Precious says, I live in the South. It's absolutely terrifying living there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy out there. All right, folks. Everybody stay safe. Make sure you take care of yourself, okay? And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.